Okay, so you're starting to see, how many years were you doing microblading to where now you're convinced, look, I'm just not really digging how these are aging. Was it a year, 2 years?
6 months. 6 months, and yeah, I
Six,
did
six
try.
months, just like that, you knew.
Yeah, I was like, well, yeah. I mean, you see so many people coming back, and it looks like crap, and you start
Yeah.
questioning on your technique. You're like, I'm doing it right. I hear the sweet spot, like I'm getting the right depth. You know what I mean? And you're just like, what's going on? And then you start to come to realize that, man, it ain't me. It's not me. It's not my error. So I don't know. I just didn't like it no more. That's just. But if you're doing microblading, great for you. I mean, but it'd be good, like you said, it'd be good to learn the shading one too. You definitely want to learn how to do a shading technique. I think the results will last longer, and that's what will bring you referrals. And I know that for a fact because that's what brought me referrals. If you're doing microblading and it's not healing right and it's pretty much gone, how are they going to refer you? But when you do that powder brow work, guess what? Their friend saw it and it healed nice.
Yeah.
And that's all my stuff's about referrals. Very rarely I get it. I get some of it, online and stuff like that on my Google page, but most of my clients are because they saw somebody that had it done. That's all my work comes from that. So
a lot of people look at microblading or nanostrokes almost as like an introduction. Like if the client's nervous and they don't know if they want to like commit, then microblading or nanostrokes is like a good procedure to start them off on because it doesn't last as long and it heals softer. So some people kind of
scare them away. You'll scare them away with that. That they have nightmares about that cuts. They literally tell me, I hear oh my God, it's scary. Like I'll never do that again. That's the bad thing about it. Like, man, like I mean, I'm sure you get clients too that had microblading. You having to remove it. I see it all the time on your page. You're having to remove their microblading. And it could be a scary thing. They want to get rid of it. And now it scared them to me. They'll think about it. I'll think about if I want to do another brow procedure because they done got frightened off of what had happened. They took the chance. They've been wanting their brows done forever, and they took the chance and did that natural look. And now look, now they're just wishing they never done it again, and they're not even recommending it to nobody. That's the fact of the matter. So, but that's what I think. Matter of fact, I need to get into that service, learn how to do tattoo removal. There's a girl right here by my in our city. I just send them her way, but
you should learn. You should learn lift removal. It's a great service. I think I personally think, look, if you're gonna put pigment in the skin, especially if you want to correct and help people with bad brows, like learning saline removal. It's fantastic. It's a great service. Comes in handy. We do it all the time at my studio. We're removing all styles. We're removing bad microblading, bad nanostrokes, bad powder brows, bad solid brow. We're removing everything. Yeah. I mean, I wish I could show you. We just, oh God. I mean, we just got a solid brow in yesterday, man. You should see it. You should see it.
I can't imagine.
The whole top of the brow is like wavy and the fronts are just squared. It's thick and it is solid. I mean,
how many sessions is that going to take?
Well, we're very honest with her. It's going to be, anywhere maybe from like 3 to 6 sessions. The good news is, she's not afraid to have a new pair of brows, which is a good thing. So we may not have to remove 100% of it and get it completely gone. Maybe just the top area where there's some bits and pieces that aren't quite even. But yeah, I mean, that thing is just so solid. It's sad, man, what we're seeing out there. I just talking to somebody not too long ago and about all the influx of just botched bad work in the industry right now. And, and I think that just has to do with the industry exploded a few years ago with, lots of people coming into the industry all at once. We had a lot of people from the beauty industry, just flocking to PMU, which is great.
You notice you got PMU now jumped to tiny tattoos. You starting to notice that?
Yeah. You got that. Yeah. And so, I don't know. The only thing I know is I don't want to govern like the industry. I don't want to be the governor and police the industry. But that's why I started like this podcast, so I could have people on that, have like strong opinions about things, and maybe a lot of listeners are feeling exactly the way you're feeling, Moses, and and they're not hearing anybody say it verbally and openly as you just did. And then we're going to have listeners that are going to completely disagree with you, and
that's okay.
Yeah, maybe you hurt their feelings a little bit, but
no, it's okay. I'm open. I'm real open minded, so I love conversation,
well,
about
conversation's good, even if we're hearing things that maybe don't settle well with us, maybe if we're hearing things that we don't agree with. Opening conversation and dialogue is really good, right? Just sometimes the delivery is not so good, and it can be offensive and a little disrespectful. I've certainly seen that in the industry. But I think if you if you learn how to express your opinions, your thoughts, and what you believe in a graceful manner, then no one should get offended. We're not all going to agree on things. And I think that's how we grow as artists, right? I'm going to grow and learn more from artists that do and think differently than me, than artists that do and think like me. That's how I feel, right? That's how I feel. So, yeah. I mean, what's that?
I said, I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, that's what I like. There's no right and wrong way. I love to hear everybody's opinions, and I like to work outside the box. I don't like to just be taught a certain way and then just stick with that only. I like to hear other options, hear other ideas. That's how you get better,
No,
rather
than
just
better.
Always sticking to that same needle or sticking to that same technique. Everybody has different techniques, Everyone's taught different ways, and there's some ideas that'll help you, help you improve, be better, and make sense later on after you hear it. Didn't make sense before, and all of a sudden you hear it a different way. You're like, man, that makes sense. I never thought about it like that.
No, it's true. It's true. And I'm still learning things to this day. From people coming onto the podcast. I have young artists in my studio that use single needles, and I got a young microblader in my studio. I go in, I watch her work, I ask her all kinds of questions, because I worry about things and how it's going to age, and so that's how I learn. And it's and I think sometimes the older you get, Moses, it can be a little bit harder to be open-minded, because you get set in your ways. And I never wanted to be that artist that got set in my ways and didn't have an open mind and couldn't have open dialogue about even things that maybe I don't think are great, or things that I think provide a good service. So I'm always careful not to get that way.
I love constructive criticism too. That's how I got better. My wife telling me when a brow looked good and when one didn't. I needed that. You can't be around people that give you yes, that looks good. That looks good. No, my wife, when I got home, I was excited. I took 4.5 hours on these eyebrows because I'm just learning, I get home, I can't wait to show her. Oh, they're so far apart. Why didn't you bring them in more? Or, man, that looks way too archy. Like, you should have added some at the bottom of her arch. See, that's why I got better. I had to give credit where it's due. That's my wife,
Well, hey, behind every good, talented man is a woman, right?
So, hey,
so you're lucky you have her. So real quick, let's just wrap this up real quick. So tell us what your favorite needle is for eyebrows.
Eyebrows, I don't have a favorite needle because it depends. Like, I always stick around with the 30 and the 25. So I like the 30 diameter. If I'm wanting that powder brow to really pop and have them nice pixels in the brow, I'll use that. But if I want an ombre brow, I'll stick with the 25. So 25 gives me that real smooth.
So you're talking single needle, 5 shader.
Yeah.
Single. You're single. So you're a 1RL.
I like 25 1RL for my ombre brows, and I like my 30 1RLs for my powder brows.
Yeah. See, I'm not a 1RL kind of artist. No. Every once in a while, so I don't lose like my mojo with it, and and I can like Keep
I just
young.
like it defined. It's pretty defined. Like when I want to get real close to my edges and that bottom line, which is the consider line, I like that line real clean and sharp. That 1 RL is very smooth with that, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I think the lowest needle I go, I like the 3 shader. Yeah, that 3 shader is like, man, that's a pretty sweet needle. If you haven't tried the 3, I'm going to send you a 3 shader.
Yeah, I need to try that out.
Yeah, no, it's a really sweet needle. All right, Moses.
You know what's weird too?
What?
With lip blush,
What?
I need to use a three round liner. I've tried it before. I feel like it doesn't really saturate like I want it to. I still use a 1 RL.
Oh my God, really?
I know. I use a 31 RL, but I have a good stretch, and I barely use the tip of that needle. I'm not, and I feel like because that needle is a 1 needle, that ink goes in, and it leaves that color. Compared to when I have 3 combined needles together, that's a pretty large diameter. It's trying to get into the skin, but it's not really.
So what if
it's a lot more of a blunt force rather than a clean, you know.
So what if you've got a client that wants like that lipstick look? Like she doesn't want a tint.
I saturate more.
She doesn't
saturate more. I saturate
more,
and I keep them strokes. I'm sweeping and I'm slow with it, and I'm keeping my sweeps real close with it. But of course, I numb it. I'm constantly numbing it. But I think a lot of it's the stretch. I think a lot of people that do it in the industry don't really stretch it that good.
Yeah. And lips can be hard to stretch too, man. That can be a hard stretch. So you can get high saturation with a single needle. Yeah, you know, I had an artist in my studio that could get pretty good high saturation with a single needle too, and not a lot of people can. Like it will take them multiple sessions to get to a higher saturation, you know, just because either they're going a little too shallow or the way they move.
Lips, you gotta be willing to be patient with it, because lips is, you gotta be willing to just relax. You know, I'm there, I'm just relaxed, you know, I'm comfortable, and I'm just taking my time with it. And that's the thing, good posture, relax. I'm literally on them just like Rick. I'm like this, just open your mouth. All right, good stretch. Turn them this way, good stretch. Turn your head over, this stretch. Dab it while you're doing it, so it's not getting in their mouth. Like, I have a little way that I like to do it, you know?
All right. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to sign off. Do you want to leave my listeners with one little, I don't know, tidbit, your favorite quote or something motivational?
Biggest tip is, I would say just take the risk. Don't plan, you know? I like to take the risk and just leap for it, because all it takes is 5 minutes, like I said. God's showing you something that he wants you to do. You either have 5 seconds to do something. Are you going to go ahead and take the action, or are you going to wait them 10 seconds and Satan's already told you, nah, it ain't going to happen. You can't do that. You know, it's not going to work out for you. You know, just do it, you know. Deal with it later, you know. Take the risk. Anything you do, put yourself in a risk, in a situation where you're taking a risk, you know. Like I said, even with me, put yourself in a situation where you're going to have to pay that rent. That booth rent's going to cost you this much a week, but guess what? You're not paying for it. You need to find someone to pay for it. So take the risk. Do it right. Don't do it at your house. Do it, you know. If you don't take yourself serious, ain't nobody else going to take you serious. And I've been staying to that motto every year. You know, I always try to do – I never want to be comfortable. Every year I'm trying to do a new thing. So like I said, I opened up in a salon and suites, and now I got people over there doing their thing in that salon and suites, you know. And now that was a year ago. And now this year just started. I got a barbershop going. I want to get that barbershop going. And I'm trying to put people in positions to where they're going to grow, you know?
Yeah.
Where they're in that situation I was in. I'm not just the person that rents out suites. No, I'm not, you know? I'm somebody that I'm still hustling like you are. I'm still here trying to find clients too. I'm not just somebody that rent out suites and I don't know what it's about. I know what it's about because I've been there, you know? So put people in that situation, helping they grow, you know?
Yeah. The hustle never stops. The hustle never stops. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. That's a good message to leave on. So I'm going to say goodbye. Don't go anyway. Don't go away. You stay right there, okay, Moses? All right. All right, everybody. That was Moses Garcia hanging out with us today. Great conversation. So before we go, I just want to remind you that my OMG eyeliner blacks have launched. The eyeliner series, OMG Black Eyeliner Series, have launched. We got 3 different colors. We've got Super Black, which is a deep, dark black with a little bit of warmth in the base. We've got black, Brownie Black, which is a black brown, a little bit of warmth in the base. And we've got Black Fusion, which is a really unique hybrid, inorganic and carbon black. in Black Fusion. So 3 great blacks. Give them a try. And my high saturation eyeliner course has launched as well. And I think we have a bundle deal, don't we? On the pigments and the course. Yeah. So I'm super stoked, and everybody that's purchased them, everybody out there using them, all the comments, all the feedback. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We worked super hard on these 3 blacks, and I'm really super proud of them. And stay tuned. We got the OMG brow pigments and lip pigments coming later this year. So thank you for that. All right, everybody, stay in the pursuit of happiness, and we will see you next time.